This is Armand from Spirit Mother, and you're listening to
The Doom Tomb.
This is the Doom Tomb Podcast, the podcast for all things stoner, doom, and sludge. My name is Chris. I am your host, and today we're going to do a little something different. This band doesn't technically have anything out yet on social media in regards to a proper release, like on Bandcamp or anything. But we did this interview at Perfect Timing Studios in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was able to grab a raw, rough recording of some of the stuff that they have that they're going to be putting out in a future release. And I want to thank everybody for their patience. I know I didn't put anything out last week. I was so busy moving and getting stuff done and, you know, holidays and all that crap. But I am back. We are going to have a bunch of episodes coming up. You're going to be bombarded. Be prepared. There's going to be a bunch of stuff coming up soon. And, we got into it with these guys. It's Tony and Nikos and John, and we talk about a bunch of different things. Sit tight and just enjoy this. This is the band Mosara. All right, so I am in Phoenix, Arizona at a recording studio, unnamed right now, with the band members of Mosara. Gentlemen, could you please go around and introduce yourselves?
Hey, I'm John, drummer of Mosara.
Tony, vocals, guitar.
Nikos, guitars.
And Nikos, I had you on a while ago for the... I had you on a while ago on the podcast with a different project that you were with, and Tony was with as well. Twingiant, we're going to get to that in a little bit. I wanted to talk about the first couple of shows you had. So you had this opening show, and it was blistering. You were over at Pub Rock in Arizona, in Scottsdale, and you had Conan. Was Healing Magic on that bill? Yeah. And Hovenweep, right? And Mosara. So being the new band that you were, how did it feel?
Like having sets the first time.
So it was
kind of awkward,
messy.
and quick, to the point, and you felt like you messed up somewhere along the way.
But at the end, you finally got to blow it.
Yeah, I mean,
so to speak.
A couple of us, maybe. I don't know. It's like if you had a voyeur looking in, they told you like, yeah, you did okay. But you're like, I don't know, man, it didn't feel okay. But what do I know? It's my first time.
Well, you know what? I apologize. I've said it to you off mic. I was at a different show. I couldn't make that one. But I did make the second show, and you were over at Chopper John's with Lucifer, Stoneclaw, Cycloptopus. Is that the right word? And, of course, Mosara again. Awesome stuff, man. I love where you were going with it. And I noticed that you have, like, a dual guitar attack. And are you going to remain a three-piece, or how does that work?
We kind of debated it for a while, but I think we are going to bring a bassist in the band just because there's always a need for more bottom end.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a priority for us right now.
Okay, fantastic. Now, if you could pass the microphone over to Tony for a sec. So you're taking over all the vocal duties on this project?
Yeah, but we talked about this earlier. Mosara was a band back in 2005. Of that band, I was the vocalist, founder, and every project I've been in, other than Twingiant, I've been the vocalist.
Right. Now, I tried to do some research. I know I've talked to Nikos about it before, and it's a crap question, but I got to get it through. Mosara. I looked it up, and I saw a black skincare line and hair stuff. And is that exactly where the name came from, or?
Yeah. Actually, you can look up D&D, Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. It should come up. It's Seventh World stuff.
Seventh World.
Yeah. So
is that like you have to roll the multi?
It's before the Eighth World.
It's right before the Eighth. Oh yes. You know, I know that world. I'm familiar with that one. It's like right around the 9th world?
Right around the ninth level.
Now, do you need to like throw a 20-sided die to get there, or how does that work?
In all honesty, I never played D&D. Found the name somewhere, thought it was awesome. A friend of mine, Matt Strangeways, used to play in Greenhaven.
Right.
He's the one that turned me on to that. He said, "Hey, did you get the name from blah, 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 blah?" I looked at him slyly and said, "Yeah, that's exactly where I got it from."
Sure it is, right. And I saw, I got some of the stickers from you, some of the illustration. Where did you come up with the illustration for Mosara?
The actual original was a skull with nails in it. Nikos took over, and it's a great story, so I'll let him tell you.
It's really not a great story, but yeah, I thought it needed like an update, like a makeover.
Right.
So there's not much to it. I just started thinking like the type of direction we're going to, and it's more like if you look at it, there's a little exotic in there, a little Mayan feel, and Mayan calendar feel, and shit looks cool, and you're like, yeah, that looks cool, man. What do you think? Yeah, that looks cool. All right, man. There we go. We
It
got a logo.
absolutely works. Now, who did you use as the illustrator?
I came up with the ideas as far as what it looked like, and we just kind of pieced it together on Illustrator.
Right. Oh, so, okay, that works. Now, I was asking you off mic before. I know that I thought John saw it, but maybe he didn't. Can you tell me a little bit about this Heavy Trip movie? And that was the reason I was saying off mic about, what is it, the name of the band? Oh, Impaled Rectum.
Yeah. I just saw the movie like, I don't know, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and a buddy suggested it, and it's about this Finnish black metal band and, their trials and tribulations. I couldn't even really... No, it wasn't even that cool. It's just like even the crap that they deal with, like putting on like corpse paint, crap like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's just kind of kitschy.
Yeah,
that's the word.
Absolutely. Yeah, I saw it through something that John had posted a while, way back. Yeah, I don't know why, but now I got to go see it. Now I gotta see if it's on Netflix or something. Is it? Do you know if it's on there?
I pulled it off like Amazon Prime, but
oh, that's perfect. I got that.
At the time, I don't know if it's still there, but I think that's where I got it from.
Awesome. So, can you give me a little bit about the history? I know Tony. Mosara was originally like your project.
Yeah.
And I apologize because I don't know. Was Nikos a part of it or?
No, actually, I had played in a band back in 2000, desert rock band. We were called Medea, and that kind of just went to the side. Decided I wanted to do something a little bit more heavier, and believe it or not, I think some people might know the other two members that were in this band. That was Chad and Anton from Collapsian.
No kidding.
Yeah, they were in the original member. They are original members of Mosara. And the guy that was the bass player for me in Medea came over to Mosara. And we actually started out, the name I came up with is Electric Caravan.
All right, there you go.
And Anton came in and just, met these guys. They had just moved here from Wyoming. And he got in the band. He brought Chad over. We started jamming, and they both were like, "Bro, you got to change that name. No, that's not going to work for us." So that's when we came up to with Mosara. But when Mosara first started out, we were more in that sleep, electric wizard, doom type sound. And Anton, who's just a riff machine, evolved into what we ended up becoming, which was kind of a throw to Bongzilla and High on Fire.
Yeah, I could actually hear that. I could hear that in the vocal.
Yeah.
That you're going back to that.
Yeah.
That vibe.
Yeah. So, Mosara, we played for a couple of years. We did some really cool shows. Just whoever the big stoner rock bands were at that time, big doom bands.
Was there any bands that you played with back then that you saw and you're like, there might be some potential there, and then they went on to way greater heights, or?
Well, we did play with Mouth of the Architect a couple times actually, and obviously they're as big as they are now.
Right.
One really good band was, and they were local. They were called Arca the Aurora. They were in that Pelican, Mouth of the Architect vein. Progressive stoner doom was getting really big at that time.
Right.
The instrumental, trippy type stuff. So I think one of the members, I forget his name. He plays in EL, I think now.
Yes.
So,
And by the way, I know Pelican has a new release out. Have you heard it yet?
I have not heard it.
I have it downloaded, and I'm going to be listening to it tonight.
They were actually a big influence of mine when I first decided I wanted to do Mosara, but yeah, they're a really good band. So I got to get on that one and listen to that.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, and I guess the next question is, so that was the old Mosara, so we're in the new Mosara. So how did you all connect? Sir? Here, you want to grab it?
Well, Todd Shanahan, the drummer from Heavy,
Yeah, I know Todd.
we were talking on the internet, and the band that these guys were in just broke up, and he hit me up because I had been telling him for years like I wanted to start a doom band and get into the doom scene, and so as soon as that opportunity kind of came up, I hit these guys up, and I talked to Nikos, and we just set up like a practice, and then after the practice, he sent video clips to Tony, kind of like my interview.
Right, yes.
And I asked him what he think, and he was like, "Yeah, Tony's on board." And then ever since then, we've just been practicing. I think since last October. Am I right? I think it was October, November last year.
Now, here's the thing. I told you this when we were together at Beira.
Yeah.
Beira was a great show, man. That was and that interview is going to go up just before this, so
Awesome.
it's like it's going to be a double Quinn shot.
Yeah.
Of yeah.
I gave him such props at the end of that show.
Oh, he was on a tear. You listen to it, you'll hear it. But yeah,
a good one.
Ian from the band Stone Witch turned me on to your previous project.
Yeah.
Actually, you have several. It wasn't just that one. Could you just say a few of the
absolutely.
projects, because I'm sure you're damn proud of all of them.
Before I played with Mosara, I hadn't done anything in a while, but I was in Secrets of Lost Empires with Josh Mathis, and we went through several different bass players, as many do. But the project was basically me and him, and we just wrote a lot of the songs, and we developed Volume 1, Volume 2, and I was part of creating half of Volume 3. But he went back, and he, since the band had dissolved, I found out from another friend that he had dropped the album, so I didn't even know that the Volume 1 had dropped. So.
Oh, okay. Well, there you have it.
So I was like, oh, cool, my album's finally on after about 4 years of being in the dark.
Oh, really? Oh, so
Yeah.
I saw it on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And
it was like January, I think it dropped.
Yeah.
The 18, I think.
And
Yeah.
what other projects were you in before that?
Well, before that, I was doing Downfall with Rebuke the Masses with Ben Chapman. He's in the metal scene. He's a very good vocalist. And after before that, I was doing studio work.
Right.
And then I did that for from like 2003 to about 2007, maybe.
Okay.
2008. So I just did studio work and little things here and there, jamming with different friends. And then before that, I had gotten out of being with Authority Zero when I was with those boys from like 96 to about 2000. And then circumstances, I couldn't continue on with them. But Jim Wilcox of an old band from back in the day in the Westwood and Mesa area, Welter, he was a drummer for Welter. And he's the only surviving member, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different podcast story. But
got
so
time.
he took over for me. So and like they went on and did their thing, and so right at almost at the crust of breaking success, I had to bow down and take a knee. I couldn't do it anymore. It was, and back in the '90s there was no internet, so it was like flyers everywhere.
You're going out like after the show as people are walking out. You're handing out the flyers.
You're inviting every single person that you see.
Yeah.
And it was 2-3 shows a week at that time, so it was hard.
You're taking one of those T50 staplers and against the poles. And
exactly.
Yeah.
So I did that, but all the way up till now, jamming with these guys has been an absolute friggin' pleasure. I found the niche that I've been looking for, that I've been hearing in my head.
Right.
It's the creativity in this band is just it's so satisfying vocally. vocals and the writing that we do and the music and the things that we come up with and the way we gel. I know it's like where the universe is supposed to be for all three of us. You know what I mean?
I can see it.
Yeah.
I checked it out. I'm going to throw some stuff on social.
Yeah.
And it's just, it seems very cohesive. And, every once in a while I've seen other bands, no names, but, a little bit of fighting and picking, and I want this part, I want that part. And you're at this point where it's like everything's just kind of gelling, like try this, get this. And it just seems to come together really, really well.
And I love the creativity process that we have together because it really feels like we're breaking boulders sometimes.
Okay.
But then once it happens, it's just aha moment happens, and then it's so much better than what we were doing. And it's that's what it's almost like the process is almost as fun as the end result.
It's right before the full trip. Like you feel like a nail is going through your skull.
I feel a tickle in the back of my neck.
And
what did
boom,
I eat?
it just explodes.
Everything's melting. Yeah.
Exactly. Totally, man.
Exactly.
So, all right. So I know you don't have any music out yet on social media, or I know you don't have anything out on Bandcamp yet, correct?
No, we do not. No.
Okay. What is a release plan? What do you got going on?
Hopefully, we can try to get a 2-song cassette, EP, demo, something that we can get it out there. Say, hey, this is us. This is what we got.
Right.
But definitely looking to do some recording and have something out by the spring. The full length. We've got ideas. Me and John have been talking about doing some kind of maybe a concept type thing, something that fits into the groove of what we're doing.
Right.
Playing off of Nikos' his Mayan type thing, maybe a tribal.
What is it?
Not the Space Hobo. Anything but the Space Hobo. Space Hobo is a reference to Twingiant.
I remember. I actually
did a concept.
Wasn't the slip mat that you did the Space Hobo? Yeah. See, I don't fucking forget that. Yeah.
But we're gonna do it right. So
that's good, man.
But we're play off the whole Mayan thing, do something cool. So no, I think what's really cool about this band is that, and I've noticed it. When we're all young in our younger years, we start playing, we get our friends together, we jam. It's all about fun and drinking your beer, getting up on stage, acting a fool, doing whatever.
Sure.
But I mean, we're all in that age where it's like, it's not that we take it really serious that it becomes a problem, but serious enough that we can do stuff. Instead of just throwing stuff out there against a wall, let's sit down and meditate on some shit and see what happens. So
got a little wiser
really cool.
over the years.
Yep, that's true. Yep, right there, older and wiser.
It's straight up. Yeah, because time is money here. Yeah, I can only imagine. I gotta tell you, man, this is a pretty fucking big place. There's a lot of room in here. This is room.
Shout out to Perfect Timing.
Yeah, shout out to Perfect Timing. Yeah, for rehearsal. Yeah,
it's an amazing venue. And they're moving too, so check them out online.
Oh, where are they going? Do you know?
They're going to be moving off of McDowell.
Okay.
And by Papago, somewhere around there, Scottsdale. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's your next show coming up? Do you know?
After the Chopper John show, that was a real success.
Yeah.
In my book.
That was a big crowd.
It was fun. That was a fun show, and it was everything went off right. The staff, the sound guy, the fans that showed up and support, and the other bands. Everybody, it was packed, and everybody was having a good time. So it was really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I could go to each of you, I have a feeling of what you're listening to, Nikos. But let's start with John. John.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So what are you listening to now regarding music?
Here, I'll pull up.
Oh, we're pulling it up. All right,
I'll
up
pull
the
up
phone.
my listen history.
Okay.
Just to finish your question, Tony will have to answer when our next show is. Tony and Nikos.
Okay.
We haven't planned really anything.
Gotcha.
We haven't had anything thrown at us.
All right.
But definitely off the success of the last show, I would love to do another one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, my playlist.
What are we going on? We're going off of Spotify?
I'm going off of my YouTube. I use YouTube for my play music.
YouTube. All right.
And I'm gonna.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'm gonna pick top five off of this 10 right here.
Okay, go right ahead.
Let's see. I was listening to Jimi Hendrix.
Okay. Which album?
Actually, this track Waterfalls off of the Singles soundtrack.
Very nice.
The Singles movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. Mr. Kitty, Gunship, Warning, and Portishead, and Pallbearer, Amon Ra. Mastodon.
And is that so? Are you listening to that stuff to get like a different dynamic? So you have this style of music here.
Yeah.
And it's just
well, it's funny you say that because like most of the times in other bands I've listened to stuff that influence me.
right.
But with Mosara, like the riffs are they're heavy enough that my plate is full. I don't need any more inspiration other than the
What
riffs.
you got.
What
Yeah.
I got, yeah.
And
So
you know, like
I mean, I'm just like I listen to stuff that's really obscure differently to what I'm doing actually in
Right.
the band, which I like because I've had that other dynamic where I listen to stuff I was playing.
Sure.
And I do. I love Doom. I love all that stuff. My playlist is deep. But as far as like influence, fuck, man. I mean, I've been doing this so long. I got so much in my bag of tricks. I don't run out of inspiration with these guys at all, you know? So,
that's awesome. It's
yeah.
fresh. You got a lot of
Yeah,
ideas.
absolutely. It's
And
good.
like you said, there's a maturity level to where you don't have to feed off the
Yeah,
genre
yeah,
itself.
exactly.
You got enough of your own.
Yeah.
You know?
Like what? Okay, I'm going to pass this to Tony, but what did you tell me the other day you were listening to? It was like Mobb Deep,
Phrase.
fucking NWA. something.
Mobb Deep, man, that's the shit right there.
Motherfucker.
So I listen to a lot of Dirty South hood rap.
Yeah, okay.
So I listen to Level, Big Scoob. Currently listening to DJ Khaled's new album. That album's pretty tight.
Please leave now. All right, maybe. Okay, Tony, please explain to me this because I've heard it time and time again. What the fuck does he do? Because all I hear is DJ Khaled. And then I was like, okay, what is that? That's $1 million right there.
Yeah,
okay.
$1 million.
What, please.
He's a DJ. He comes up with beats. He's like Dr. Dre.
Okay, so he does come up with the beats.
He can, yeah.
Okay.
He's a DJ. So,
But can we
he
just-
has people rap over stuff. But honestly, I only listened to a couple of songs off that new album. Cardi B's got one called Wish Wish. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Even though I'm not a Cardi B fan, I'm gonna get all hood on you in about 2 seconds. But
That's okay. Because I just saw my girlfriend was showing me earlier that Cardi B was at a show or something, and she was twerking so hard that she split her pants. Did you see that picture?
I did not see that girl.
It's okay. It's worth missing.
Nasty. She's just nasty.
What's twerking? Well, you know what? John will show you later. He'll give you the heads up on what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more of a Nicki guy, so.
Okay, understood.
Nicki Minaj.
Understood.
But yeah, so I listen to a lot of Dirty South.
Do you go anywhere else with your hip hop?
If I go back to when I was a kid, 80s rap, and that was all East Coast. That was Run
Like-
DMC.
yeah, Run DMC, Curtis
Eric B. and
Blow.
Rakim, Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
Going back to the early
Eric
80s.
B. and
Yeah,
Rakim,
Eric B. and
Jesus.
Rakim, yeah.
Do you ever
Rakim
listen to
God, yeah.
some of the current East Coast, like somebody like Ill Bill or Necro or like Vinny Paz or anybody like that?
No.
I got to turn you on to some of that.
If they got that old school style, then I'm definitely down with that.
There's a lot of old boom bap style, like the
Okay.
Snow Goons.
All right.
They're not technically East Coast, but it's that boom bap style that I think if you're going to be an '80s throwback, you'd really dig on it.
Oh, cool. Right on.
All right, so this guy is all over the map. You're doing hip hop, and Nico's. See now,
No, okay, you're ready
I'm
for it.
prejudging you because I know how much of a fan you are of black metal, and I gotta know what are you listening to, dude?
All right. I do write for a few blogs, so I listen to a lot of stuff I'm going to review
Okay.
because I want to get it right when I review it, obviously. So that stuff's like ingrained. And I want to listen to stuff that I want to listen to.
Right.
So right now, like, if I had to pick actually like one of the best albums of the year, if had to do a top, like do your top 10 right now, who's your number one?
Yeah.
It would be the new Gaahls Word. The
Really?
Ghost Invited. It's that good. It's black metal, but it's more like it's got a very mod like black metal. Very
Is it psychedelic?
it's not psychedelic. It's very gloomy.
Okay.
It's there are parts where his clean vocals remind me of like Peter Murphy.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Holy
mean,
smoke! No pun intended.
It's really orchestrated real well, and he doesn't. If you're familiar with anything from Gorgoroth,
Yeah.
yeah, you know those high pitched screams he does, right?
Yeah.
They're gone for the most part.
Really?
He only does his yelling, and then it's all clean vocals. It's clean. So it's very gothy. It's really gothy.
Let me ask you something about that, because I'm really just throwing it out there. I have no idea. I know that he had come out over the past few years. Do you think that there's anything that has changed in his style because of that? Like it made him more confident in something, or?
No, I think he really wanted to kind of shock everybody what he could do.
Right.
I think he said, it's like black metal is the same formula over and over and over again for the most part.
Truly.
And I think he said, he's that good that he says, I'm just going to do a 180 here. And it's still black metal. The music's definitely black metal, but his vocals aren't. Like about half the vocals aren't black metal at all. They're clean.
Really?
And he sings. And he, like I said, he found his clean voice.
You got to remind me that when we're finished, because I got to write that down. I want to check that out, because anything black metal that you are a fan of, it's good. Because I've taken your advice before. I've read what you have written, and it's always spot on. You nail it. So while we're here, I don't remember if we discussed it before. Who are you writing for?
I
think we did.
metalunderground.com,
right?
puregrainaudio.com, and then the Sludgelord.
I think that's where I saw it. Yeah, see your stuff is coming from Sludgelord.
And the Sludgelord is just basically I'm writing one column for him.
Right.
But like I said, the others, I do reviews, I do photos, and then I do write-ups, and then whatever they need me to do.
Speaking of, so I do see you at a lot of shows taking photos. Your Instagram for your photos is called?
Greek Bastard Photos.
Okay. Now, do you just do the photos for at the live shows only? Would you be open to doing band photos or anything like that? Or you just
and I have done an album shoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For whom? That band?
Yeah, that band.
That band with the thing they got guitar strings and stuff, and they make noise and that stuff. It'll come to you. It's okay.
Yeah, it's Skull Fist, I think it is.
Okay. And are you open to that? Can we throw that out there if anybody's
absolutely.
interested?
Like I said, I did it for them. They're it's Mem from It's Humor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bassist for Church of Misery. I'm blanking all over the place.
That guy with the dark hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wears his bass down to the ground.
Yeah, I saw it. That is incredible. There was
I'm drawing blanks all over the place right now.
There was another band I saw recently called Valley of the Sun, and I was really surprised at how low he played his guitar. It's all the way down there. Like he has to crouch, and he's like, it's not like that crab walk stuff, but it's like that, just like completely hunched. I was like, how, dude? Scoliosis is a bitch, man. It's like it's gonna be a problem later down the road.
Yeah, but I did the insert photos for them, and then the back cover photo is mine also, and that's on Metal Blade Europe.
Okay.
So, and that was released, I think, last November.
So you heard it here, people. If there's anybody in Maricopa County, Arizona, whatever, you want a guy to do some photos, hit up Nico's Greek Bastard Photos on Instagram. Is that right? That's the right one? Okay.
I want to plug 2 more albums this year before I'm done.
Please do.
The new Possessed.
Yes.
Sounds as good, if not better, as anything they did before.
Right.
Jeff Becerra's vocals are on point. I mean, they've actually improved from before. He didn't slouch like during the 20, 30 years that they didn't do anything.
Right.
Like, it's such a great album, and I think it's being overlooked a lot.
Okay.
So that album, and then I'm going to plug one more, if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
And that's the new Campfire. And they're from Norway. And they were actually they almost broke up just a couple of years ago, but they're back. They released a new one. And again, it's one of those Norwegian black metal bands that's just been overlooked because they didn't have the crazy corpse paint or all the wild like satanic imagery.
Sure.
That's not their thing.
Right.
But like I said, it's got a very folky black metal type sound to it.
Okay.
But like I said, that's another band you should check out also.
And while you have the mic, what was the last deluxe edition release of something that you got in the black metal world that really blew your socks off? Like do you listen? You're a vinyl collector?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay.
And I pretty much anything I get for the most part, if I really like it, like probably the Gaahls Word.
Yeah.
So I got that, and it came with like 2 wine goblets, like crystal.
Yes, I did
so
see
I
that.
got the full meal deal for that thing.
That is nice. It reminded me when I saw, what was it? I think Vice did the interview with him.
Yeah.
And he was with
Satan,
the wine and...
The whole Satan quote, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But if you've seen that little, 90-second clip, you'll get it right away.
Absolutely.
And he's a big wine fan. He's got a wine cellar and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
you could tell. You could tell.
He's definitely a wine aficionado. So, yeah, I mean, it was a must buy when I saw them. Like, holy shit! Gahl wine glasses. I need a set.
I need it now.
Yes.
And Tony, are you a vinyl fan, or do you not go in that direction, or?
All the vinyl that I have is stuff from like the 60s and 70s.
All right.
So if I look for stuff, I'm looking for stuff like at Bookman's, Borders.
Sure.
Don't really buy too much newer stuff. I do have all Electric Wizards vinyl, but as far as like, I like obscure shit when it comes to vinyl. Old 70s stuff like Banshee, Black Widow, that type of stuff.
Okay. I was going to say, is there a specific genre that you're looking for that's all like...
It's all 70s underground, psychedelic
stuff, yeah.
Psychedelic stuff. Like
now,
if you know Black Widow, there's a band called Dust.
Yeah.
Another one that I sent, Lucifer's Friend. They're actually really, really good.
Good stuff. And it's... Was that what era is that from?
That's from the 70s
era?
Yeah, early 70s.
All right, we're gonna have to check
back when
this
they
out.
started to meld the more heavy metal.
Right.
When heavy metal was heavy metal, when AC/DC first came out, where you knew what you were getting. Kiss,
Sure.
Like that kind of stuff. And Jody Grind was another band that I listened to.
Really?
Yeah. So even though I listen to the hood rap,
that's okay.
If we take it back to the 60s and 70s, then I'm all about the underground 60s and 70s music. One-off bands that came and went. One album, they were done.
Right. No, everybody likes what they like. Nobody. There's no judgment at all. Now, John, I know he's a vinyl guy.
Yeah.
What was the last vinyl, or even like a box set or something that you got that really blew your skirt up?
The last album I received, or I probably bought at a show. I try to buy vinyl for most of the bands I see at shows.
Right.
I go to frequent a lot of shows.
Yeah, I would never know.
Yeah. So my vinyl collection stems from things I grew up with. Was like the classics: Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye,
right,
Al Green, the Delphonics, Tower of Power, War, Santana. Those are all my parents' albums. So I got those. And then I got some classic rock stuff. But the stuff that I really kind of go for is just what I'm into right now.
Right.
I think the last album I got was Kavinsky, A Night Call.
Okay.
He's like a DJ type beats guy. And he did some songs off the soundtrack of Drive.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody's seen that movie? It's got a great soundtrack.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah, with the Gosling.
What is it? Is it like EDM? What is it?
It's
like breakbeats.
It's like post '80s synth.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
Down to like 60 BPM, 65 BPM, really groovy stuff.
And I got to even throw it in myself now.
It's not Doom, but yeah.
I've heard some stuff about this band name, and I don't know I want to interview this band. I don't know why they call themselves Faerie Ring.
Okay.
And I love the new release. It's already sold out.
Wow.
They sold through all their copies, and they're going to probably have to do a repressing. But I love the album so far. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the better albums of the genre that I've heard so far this year.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So about shows for this year, what shows have you seen this year that I would say top show that you saw? Concert.
Top of my head, you say top show, Inner Arma at the Yucca recently. That was destruction.
I wasn't planning to see genitalia at the show.
That was absolutely amazing.
Look, do you know? Did they know the story?
No. It wasn't mine this time. No.
And it wasn't mine.
It was the drummer.
The drummer.
TJ Childers.
He decided to disrobe, and he's like, "I don't care who sees my dick. I don't care." Fine, whatever. And you could see right away. I could almost hear people behind me putting out their cameras. You know,
yeah. It was.
So
it
I was like, okay.
He was changing in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then a classic line. This guy's amazing as a drummer and as a human. He's just a phenom. And he says, you know who wouldn't do that? Everybody's standing there looking at him. He's like, neurosis wouldn't do that. Dude, me and my roommate still joke about that and laugh about that weeks later. But yeah, Inner Arma, they destroyed me.
That was a great show, man.
I have not been to an actual concert in many years. Local stuff, maybe.
Okay.
Would probably be Spirit Adrift. They always do.
Oh, yeah, at
They
the Rebel.
always do, yeah, they always
Yeah.
do a really good show.
Did you see the whole show?
No, we all actually saw them when we were in Denver.
Right.
We played, what was that called? The
Electric Funeral?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Funeral Fest. Yeah, that was the last time I saw. That was actually last band that I actually said I'm gonna go watch a band.
Right.
So, as far as like big arena shows, and last show would probably been the Police, back in like '92.
So what was it? Was that a reunion?
Yeah, I think it was
For
one of
them?
the reunions. It was in America West Arena.
So I'm getting that you don't go to a
originals.
lot of concerts.
I don't.
Okay.
I'd rather go watch a local show. Like,
Yeah.
in the '90s when
Well, I
saw
consider
the
those
big
concerts.
shows.
It's you people are getting up there. You put your blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
You're
Yeah, I
you're
hear
up
ya.
on stage. You're cranking it out. Loud
Yeah.
amps in the face. That's a concert to me.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. Like there was, I've said this story before. I'm going to make it real short. There were some people that were in the venue at Yucca Tap Room that had not seen what a Stoner Doom show is like. They lean into me and say, "What is this? Like, what the fuck is this?" And I said, "This is, and I didn't know what he meant, but he's like, this is awesome. It's like a concert in here." I'm like, that's exactly what it is. And he was just blown away. It was more of a hip hop guy, and he was saying that he could take some of the beats that this band was making and turn them into samples. Like he had, and whether it was the drum, whether it was the guitar or bass, whatever. And I was like, that just sounded awesome to me. Just for somebody that was uninitiated, walked in. They were on the other side of Yucca eating, and there's like, we hear noise. Let's go see what it is. And they felt. They said we got to be back because we'll got to see this band again. So.
Oh yeah.
And Nikos, what was the show of the year so far for you?
All right, I got to correct my fuck up from before.
Okay.
But it was Skull Pit.
Skull
It's
Pit.
the name of the band, and
Okay.
Tatsu from Church of Misery.
Gotcha.
Those are my two. I fucking lost my mind.
It takes a minute. These loud amps, man, they fucking get to you.
Maybe it's because it's like Friday Eve, and I get really excited that it's gonna be Friday tomorrow. But no, probably right now, and it's probably gonna end up being my concert of the year, just because I waited 30 fucking years to see this band again.
Okay.
It was Violence.
Yes.
Get Reich and Excel at the Regent in LA. I saw them the next night in Phoenix, but I saw them in Los Angeles at the Regent, and it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was just like it was a time machine back into the 90s when people were stage diving at fucking will.
Right.
The pits were violent, and it was just nonstop chaos, but no fights break out,
Exactly.
No one gets seriously
No.
hurt, no fights. But it had that, and like I said, there's a bunch of old guys like me hanging out in the back line there. But like I said, it was all the young kids, like they got it.
Yeah.
And Phoenix is a little different vibe, There's more security at the shows.
Sure.
They have a barrier in front of the stage. The stage is higher, so you don't see a lot of that stage dive.
Right.
There in the Regent, the stage is lower. There's no security barrier.
Wow.
So it's nonstop bodies jumping on and off. And just the fact that, Sean from Violence, if you don't know anything about his backstory in the past, 5 years.
I don't.
His liver's failing him.
Wow.
And he was pretty much destined to be 6 feet under.
Wow.
And then a donor appeared, and he had a donor, and 9 months later, he's on a stage with Violence again.
That's balls, man.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch him up there, and just it's pretty much 4/5 of the band.
Right.
Original that was playing that night, and like I said, they played those old songs great, and it didn't fucking matter what they played. Just to see them up there again.
Sure.
Because I thought I'd never get to see this band again after the '90s. They had a couple reunions, which are always in the Bay Area.
Right.
And I just never made plans to go, whatnot. When I heard he got diagnosed, I said, I'm not going to see this band ever again.
Okay.
But like I said, it was awesome to see him 9 months removed from a liver transplant up on stage like 2 nights in a row.
Right. That's incredible, man. I love that. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And it's more so, like I said, the band is one part of it, but the audience participation was like 70% of it. Bodies flying everywhere, hair getting ripped out. There were piles of hair on the fucking floor when we left.
The fuck?
Like, whose fucking hair is this?
I know it's not mine.
Tell him there's a clip online.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Guy
one.
jumping and getting his hair caught in the guitars, and the guitars just like, nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta go over here
The
on
hair got
stage,
caught, and I think
and
it's
he yanks it.
in Phil Demo's guitar in
Yeah.
the headstock. And it's online. And it's just hanging from the tuning peg.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's there, and you see it, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's pictures before and after. But yeah, like I said, the stage diving was nonstop. Even for Sacred. Sacred had I thought, like, okay, after Violence plays, because Sacred headlined the show,
Right.
I thought half the place would empty out. No, LA made me proud. In fact, they all stayed for Sacred Reich, and it was, again, even more stage divers on them. And they sounded great, too.
That was now. Excel was there.
Yes.
What did you see them?
First time seeing it. It's one of those bands you put in your back pocket every time they come through.
Yep.
They're the opening band. You never get to see them, and it's like, fuck, I've never seen that goddamn band. Like, at this point, it's like it's 30 years later. I'm seeing this fucking band. And it was great. Like I said, they're kind of like what we were saying. They're suicidal and
Yeah, it's part.
Beowulf.
Yeah,
Beowulf.
Yeah, it was a part of the.
That
it was
scene.
Excel, No Mercy.
Exactly.
Widespread bloodshed, and all that kind of that era. And it was like, who's in this band? Who's in this one? Who's in this one? I wanted to see them in the worst way.
And it was like a bomb went off. Like I said, there were like 3 opening bands, and then the 3 bands that everybody came to see it: Cell, Violence, and Sacred. And like it was like a bomb went off in that place when Cell started. It was just immediately bodies flying everywhere, and the pit opens up, and it's like, dude, this is a time machine. This is like really back to like 1989, 90, 91 era.
Not only that, it was back to a time when people actually left the place drenched.
Yeah.
And you're
Bloody.
covered in blood, you're covered in sweat, and other people sweat. You're like, this shirt's fucking gone. I don't know. I got a lot of different body fluids on this. I got to get rid of this. And it's I see that kind of dying a lot, and I'm glad there's still life around, because like you said, I have a name for it, because I'm in mass retirement. I don't need this shit no more. But I call it like I'm in pit periphery, like. I'm on I'm right on the border of it,
Exactly.
and
So you can just push back when somebody slams into you. Actually, the person in front of you is facing the pit, so you catch them,
Yep.
and you push them
That's
into
it.
the pit. And,
Sorry,
you got the
you're
bumper.
going, dude.
Yeah, Zach, no,
You gotta go.
It's not me.
Yeah, the last time I came out of retirement last year, at the end of the year, for maybe 2 songs, it felt awesome. I gotta say, I was fucking tired. Phil, you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Phil Anselmo and the Illegals came around, and I had to. When he brought the old material, man. Yeah, there it is, right there. Holy shit. So I just had to. And then after a while, I was like, all right, can everybody stop punching me in the back of the head now, please? So, all right, we'll move forward here. And I'll just end this with a few quick questions. If you did a cover song, what would it be?
We flirted with one song.
We were talking about it.
Now you
And
can
what's
keep it
that
on.
song, Tony, we flirted with?
That's The Cure.
The Cure.
Which one?
But we
Prayers-
flirted with another.
Praise for Rain.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, we played with a theme of doing something kind of cool, and we all like The Cure, so
Sure.
we thought of doing Prayers for Rain by
Right.
The Cure, and we kind of just talked about it, and the idea seems like it's there already. We just have to like get to that.
Did you see the Hall of Fame induction?
I did,
For
and
What'd
their
you
new,
think?
it was amazing. Too right for them.
Yeah.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
The Cure is a fucking amazing band. But I also, if anybody can check out online, they have their Australian concert live. It's a 2.5 hour show, not longer. And they play all the songs. And it's so good. They do all these rare songs, B-sides, stuff that's never been played. Like Robert Smith does a song called Pirate Ship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cover of somebody else, but I don't think he's ever played that. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, it was
Do you-
pretty amazing.
Is that?
So we love The Cure, yeah.
Do you like that at a show where, like, I mean, granted, a lot of the shows that we go to, they're going to play all their material.
Yeah.
But do you like it when you go to a larger show and
Yeah.
they do more like deep cuts?
Yeah.
Like I know I would see Pearl Jam back in the late '90s.
Yeah.
And they were doing all the deep cuts. They weren't
Yeah.
playing anything that
Yeah.
of the hits, so to speak.
Well, that's what Robert Smith said. He's like, I promised myself I wasn't going to do any of the hits.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of wanted to, but he was saying, like, I'm going to stick to my guns. And he said no.
Yeah, I think like Radiohead does
They
something
did a
like they don't
bunch
play
of other
Creep
stuff.
or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I like that. I like when bands cover stuff too.
Yeah.
One that sticks out in my head is, I believe you were there, Red Wizard.
Yeah,
When they did.
Well, it was
The Wizard?
Yeah, it was real quiet, and
Oh, you hear his harmonica,
dude?
dude?
I did an interview before, and I didn't.
Amazing,
I asked him about his
amazing
rig,
show.
and I know I fucked because it's not a rig; it's a harp. But
Yeah.
I used the wrong word. But I was like, "Oh, you're gonna use a harp? What, are you gonna play a little Sabbath tonight?" He's like, I don't know, maybe.
There was
And then
the-
all you heard, it was real quiet, and then.
Yeah, you hear it come in. And everybody's
yeah.
head was stage forward,
Oh
dude.
yeah, it fucking was.
Everybody stopped talking and was like, what was that? And he just like beckoned everybody.
Yep.
I was standing at the sound booth in the back just watching everybody.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. That kind of sticks out in my head as far as a band doing a cover recently that I heard.
I hope I would
Yeah.
love to see them put that out. I know they got some new material that they're working on, and Miles.
Well, I recorded the whole song.
Oh, you did?
And I have it on my page, on my YouTube page.
Miles Miles from Red Wizard
Yeah,
and
Miles.
Buddy.
He's good.
They're doing Sabbath Buddy Sabbath.
Sabbath Buddy Sabbath,
Which-
yeah. And they came through, and they're so good. And I love it because they almost do like that Vegas style of like meshing a couple of the hits together.
Right, the medley.
The medley, thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, is that what that's called?
Yes, those are things that you would
Take me to
see in
school. Yeah, I
like
just started
Branson,
playing
Missouri, or something like that.
And yeah, it's like we're gonna slow it down. Yeah, and then they do it like there's something else, like, and they just blend it up. Like, Snoop Dogg did that when I saw him open for 311 years ago.
Right.
He had a live band there, and he played like a mix of his hits with the electric guitar. It was
Now,
pretty cool, yeah.
do you watch the Snoop Dogg Martha Stewart show? Have you seen it?
I enjoy Snoop Dogg narrating anything in life, actually. So, especially when he does nature,
Right.
that's the best. That's absolute comedy gold. And Martha Stewart, hey man, she's been to federal pen. She's done her dime,
Yeah.
or not, and she's got street cred now. You know what I mean?
It's almost
all
like
all the
she-
rappers love her because she can go in there. You know, she's like with Jeffrey Ross and those guys. Like
She brings it.
they get the card, they can go in.
Well, I can tell you, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We DVR it, and
It's gold, dude.
Just maybe-
it's fucking gold. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking gold. It's really good stuff.
maybe after a little green, you could watch that, and
Exactly.
yeah, it's
and
all
then
good.
he always hints to her about shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, all
And
the time.
They do all these things where she doesn't actually say she smokes, but maybe she did.
Oh, she has to. Come on, please.
She does.
So, to change it up just a bit, what was the last book each of you read?
Oh wow.
Magazines count if you don't,
Um,
pamphlet.
probably the Mother's Day issue of Revolver. What's the one that starts with the D? Goddamn, Decibel.
Decibel, yeah.
Yeah, it was the Mother's Day issue of
Oh,
Decibel.
really?
Yeah.
What did they have? What's it have?
Chase Mason was in there with his mom from Gate Creeper.
Yeah.
And Nate Garrett was in there with his mom of Spirit Adrift. And
So it literally was a Mother's Day issue.
yeah, they had like metal dudes, doomers, and like with their moms. And they had a little page for them. It was great. It was cool.
All right.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's good. Okay.
More
Fantastic.
More obscurity from this band.
All right, Tony. What was the last book you read?
Probably the Quran.
Yeah, I saw that you're getting it. So is this a journey? I don't want to. I know it's probably personal for you, but I know you posted some stuff. So
Yeah, there was a point in my life, Nikos knows about it very well, where I went through some really, really heavy shit.
right.
And I cursed God every day.
Mm-hmm.
Was not doing well, became an alcoholic, had some struggles, and then I met my wife. To 2015, my life turned around, and had actually talked about learning about Islam back in 2009.
Right.
Circumstances happened at that point in my life where I had to turn my back on what I thought I could have wanted to have believed in, and it took me a really long time to finally get to this point in my life. So,
Okay.
yeah, I read the Quran. Ramadan ended. And I do that during Ramadan. I read my Quran. If anyone wants to know, yes, I am a Muslim.
Okay.
I'm very proud. And again, I'm sure people are getting their little visions or ideas of what it is. It's not. If anyone ever wants to pull me aside and show and talk, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Got no problem with that. So, but yeah, Quran is the last thing I read, and that was last month for Ramadan.
Yeah. Let me tell you something though. This is such a unique point because there is a difference, and I came from Florida, and I had people that had moved across the parking lot from me, and they were all Indian. And it's fine, whatever. And hardest working people I've ever seen, whether they're at this job and he doesn't want his wife to walk to a job that's a mile away, so he gives her the car, he walks her, he takes the bike. Right. There's a lot of struggle to better themselves, right? So one day, the son and daughter come up to me. It was in my house, and what's going on? And they said, my dad died, and I was like, oh my God, Muhammad died. Like, this isn't a joke, right? And they said, no, he passed. He said, we'd be honored to if you would go to the service. And so I was like, okay. I have never been to a Muslim funeral. I have no idea what to expect. Have you been? Do you know?
No, I have not.
It is a very unique experience from what I'm used to from my faith. So I go, and they said one thing we do suggest: do not wear anything black. We need the brightest colors. Wear white. It's kind of you're celebrating life through death. So it was a very nondescript casket, so to speak, prayer, and then we went walking him to another part of the cemetery because he wasn't allowed to be buried. Still discrimination now, right. 2019. Right. He had to go to another section, and they said their piece, and I'm looking around, and I said, like, what do I do? And he's, just follow me. So we had this it was a beautiful thing. It was, we celebrated his life. It was very somber walking back, and it was done. Right. So that's fine. It was very unique. There's a lot more to it. I just nut and bolted it. So I'm going to work, and I'm at this place. It's like a Circle K for Florida. It's called Cumberland Farms. So this guy's behind the counter, and he looks at me. He says, "You look familiar." And I said, "Yeah." He says, "You knew Muhammad, right?" I said, "Yeah." So you were at his funeral? I said, "Yeah." He says, "You Muslim?" I said, "No." He says, "Why'd you go then?" I said, "Respect." He was a friend. That's the key. He was a friend. And he's like, good man. Now, and I know that there's a joke in here somewhere because I went to Cumberland Farms, 7-Eleven, Circle K, every convenience store. Everybody fucking knew me. And they're like, you knew Muhammad. You knew Muhammad. So, because they were all there. And then, but it wasn't just, the thing was, it wasn't just these, it wasn't just that. It was the people from where his wife worked at Publix, which is a supermarket, big supermarket chain down there. They came. Everybody came for this guy. And the one thing I thought that was really cool was there was a gentleman that was leading this outside service, and he says, look, whatever you thought of him, he's gone. If he owed you money, you ain't getting it back. If he wronged you, now's the time to say it's all good and whatever, and then it's done. It really was an interesting moment, and I'm really glad that you have that journey. And I know I rambled a little bit about that, and I apologize, but I know it's, everybody has their journey. So you do yours, John does his, Nikos does his. He does it in the black metal world, of course. Yeah.
And getting to what you're saying there about a journey, and it has nothing to do with faith right now, but when we make our music, that's what we want people to experience.
Right.
Like, we don't just want to throw heavy riffs at people. We want to get into it, break it down, take it to its core, and have people just like be involved in it. Mm-hmm. Like, don't just come here and bang your head and jump in a pit and spin around, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, experience.
Feel it.
That's what we want. That's really what we want when it comes to this band.
And that's what I was seeing when I saw you guys at Chopper John's. There is a point that I have seen where I know, and it's sad to say, but I do see some people going through motions, and they're not feeling the music. And honestly, I've never seen John play, and I thought it was incredible. But I've seen you two guys before play, and there's something about, I'm not going to say the guitar face, but there's the feel is there. Like when Nikos takes a picture every once in a while with the claw, the fucking feel, man, the feel. And you do that, and you bring that, and it's something that is sorely needed in this space, and I love when anybody does that. So, Nikos, what's the last thing you read?
Well, we're gonna swing the pendulum like a 180 the other way from Tony, and it's "Confessions of a Heretic" by Nergal,
Okay.
singer Behemoth.
Sure.
If you're familiar with him, he
Absolutely.
was diagnosed with leukemia.
Yes.
He survived it. He beat it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's a self-confessed Satanist,
Yeah.
and basically he was going to meet his maker, which he didn't believe he had a maker.
Right.
He was facing death, and he was trying to digest that, knowing that he's quite possibly going to die.
Right.
And it's a really interesting read, to kind of get, because he was going back and forth with his parents, his friends, his bandmates, and his, like I said, it's a deep book.
Right.
So yeah, that was the last book I read.
I gotta get that, man. I saw it, and I knew he had a cancer. I didn't know what type it was. Leukemia. I had a beloved family member just pass it out. I know it's a beast. It's a terrible disease, and it was a really good read.
Yeah, it's a very good read because, like I said, he's confronting his beliefs head on. To,
Right.
What's possibly going to happen and how he's going to digest that if it does happen. And then, like, when people confront him about his beliefs, how he responds to them. I'm not going to
Exactly.
give the book away.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, read it.
You
Yeah.
got to read, the interaction between him, his family, his friends, and his own beliefs, his struggle within,
Right.
knowing that he's probably going to die, and then he beats it.
That's awesome.
As you see now, how big is that band now?
Oh, they're huge, and they're going out on tour again. I swear, I just saw that they're going to be coming through here again.
Yeah.
Did you see who they're? Yeah. I can't remember. I know they were just through here with Slayer for the farewell tour, but I just saw that they.
I've seen like another tour announcement, but they'll do the summer festival circuit.
Yep,
And everything else.
yep,
But
yep.
Like I said, it's.
Oh, maybe Knotfest.
It could be that.
I think it is. I think they're going to be on Knotfest.
But this band just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and like I said, some of it, I think actually about 50% has to do with his drive, facing that close to death.
Right.
And now he's just exploded.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna take life over and live it to the fullest.
I got a second chance.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, guys. I really appreciate the time. So, can you please tell me how everyone can reach you on social media?
Shit, there's only pretty much two ways right now. It's via our Facebook or our Instagram.
Okay.
And that's it.
Mosara, and then Doom. All one word.
Instagram's Mosara Doom, and then Facebook's just Mosara.
All right.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for staying late. I always appreciate
Thank
it.
you, brother.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Good night.
Thanks again so much to the guys in Mosara. I really enjoyed hanging out with them. Nikos, again, thank you, brother. Second time interviewed. Loved it. You never, ever disappoint. Let's hear some of the stuff that they were doing in the studio. This is Mosara.
Is he ready, Chris?
you so much for hanging out towards the end. doomtombpodcast@gmail.com. You have a submission? Send it over. We'll do the spotlight episodes. We're going to keep them going. Marcello from Gone Cosmic is going to be coming up next time. Don't miss that interview. It was great. Another Canadian band. Fantastic. We got so many other interviews coming up. Oh my gosh, I can't even rattle off the list that are coming up. But trust me, you are gonna love them. And also the spotlight episodes, getting really great downloads. iTunes, you get a chance, leave a review. That would be fantastic. And until that time, the next time, meantime, and in between time, enjoy yourselves. Keep going to the shows. I'll see you at those shows. Buy that band merch, and don't forget to stay heavy.